Alright, fuck it. We'll just film them separately, man. Who knows? Maybe I'll mash them together later. Maybe I'll just post them separately. Just filmed the cut of the week. It was Master of Puppets by Metallica. And then my dumbass accidentally hit the fucking volume button on my phone. Like that was gonna turn me up or something. Because I feel like I'm always quiet on these things. But I'm gonna just try to talk loud. And yeah, no, of course that didn't turn me up. All that did was fucking take a picture. Which, you know, stopped the video. I'm like, fuck. Master of Puppets is like a 9-minute long song. Am I really trying to go back out there and re-record it? Because that's what happened last time. I just re-recorded it because it was a shorter song. I'm like, nah, I don't think I'm trying to do all that. So either I'll mash them together or I'll post them separately. But what's good, y'all? How y'all been? I'm chilling. Big show. I just watched the Ravens beats Tennessee out in London. I think the Ravens did it the right way. Best I think I've seen a team look in London. They got their beginning of the week. He said, which, you know me, I hate to agree with a Harbaugh on anything ever, but I like how John Harbaugh prepared for this week. He said that, you know, they got here early, like Monday, I think it was. So he gave his players basically 5 days to explore the city of London and everything. You know, go hit the pubs with their friends and all that. Which I think is the right move, because I think, like, if you're there for only 2 days, by the time you get on the field, you still got to be like, wait, what the fuck? Are we in London right now? Like, this is weird. You know what I mean? If you're there for 5 days, that gives you plenty of time to acclimate yourself to your surroundings, plenty of time for the sleep difference to clear. And then that way, too, like I said, the big thing, though, is I think what Harbaugh said, is that you can really go out and enjoy the city first. So Ravens look really good, really full of life today. Best I've seen a team look ever in London. They definitely learned from their loss a few years ago. So I think we're going to start seeing more teams doing that for those type of games. The Germany game will be interesting to see how that goes. I am interested in that. Yeah, it'll be cool. Steelers don't play today. Nice bye week, we'll take it. Can't lose this week, although that does mean Baltimore's back at the top of the division now. But it is what it is. We just got to go out there and do our thing next week, because they're on a bye next week. So if we win next week, we'll be back at the top. So that's all we got to do. Cleveland about to play the Niners. That game should be a blowout. It's going to be interesting to see. I got a little bit of money on that one. I get like $100 or something. I got $1 on it being 34-3 San Francisco. So we'll see how that goes, because Deshaun is not playing today. So I think the Browns are really going to struggle to put points on the board against that defense. Who else? The Bengals have... fuck, who do they play? Oh, they play the Seahawks today. That's going to be an interesting game, too. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I think that'll be a really good game, honestly, but I think the Bengals kind of woke up last week, so I think they're going to probably go out there and get that dub, although I'd love to see them lose again. I think they're probably going to go out there and get that dub. I got a little parlay going on that game, too. So, interesting day in NFL football, even though the Steelers don't play. Got a few things riding on it, and there's just a lot of good games today. The Cowboys play the Chargers later. That's going to be a good one, too. And apparently that Germany game, bro, is the Chiefs versus the Dolphins. So that's going to be really interesting. Although I feel like it's going to be one of those stay the fuck away from betting that game. You know what I mean? Because you got, like, arguably the two best offenses in the league. Because the Dolphins are probably the fastest offense in NFL history. They got, like, all the top 9 times this year for fastest players. And then you got the Chiefs, who are obviously the fucking Chiefs. They got Pat Mahomes. Travis Kelce's out here balling now that he ditched Taylor Swift. Because that shit was getting really fucking annoying. And, yeah, so now that all that happened, Chiefs are balling. But it's going to be one of those things that's in Germany, and offenses never show up on those international games. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in that game. I feel like it's one of those where you might see the two best offenses in the league, and you could get like a 12-9 or a 9-6 game or something like that, just because nobody's going to be used to it playing in Germany, you know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting for sure. definitely going to be interesting. Definitely interesting week of NFL football. Good day at college football yesterday, too. Ohio State did their job, got their dub. Dude, I had a bet on that game. I put $1 down, right? And it was for us to win 42-7, right? So if you watch the game, you already fucking know. So we ended up winning. So if we won 42-7, that $1 was going to pay me out $220. Because that's how hard it is to guess the correct score, man. The odds are crazy because it can be literally anything. So I was going to get 220 some bucks if we won 42-7, and we fucking won 41-7, bro. Dude missed the extra point to start the game. I was like, no. I was like, maybe we'll go for 2 at some point and fix it. But when you're up that big, I mean, the time to do it would have been the very next touchdown. They didn't do it the very next touchdown, so it's like, shit. I was like, maybe we'll get a safety or something, and nah, it never happened. So. But still, it was a good game, man. Good to see us get that dub. Washington and Oregon was a really good game too. Really good game. Oregon ended up coming back and then had a field goal to win the game, or maybe even tie it, send it to overtime. I can't remember, but dude missed it, like a 43-yard field goal wide right. And they were dumb, bro, setting it up because like they had a play before that. And if you look at like almost any other team, or any team that knows how to manage the ball correctly, and manage the clock correctly, and then you'll see like before you attempt that field goal, the correct play, if you're already in field goal range, right, you get one more play before the field goal, you have a timeout. The correct play is to see which way your kicker wants, which side of the field he wants to kick the ball from, right? You ask him that, because everybody has a preference. Very few of them want it right down the middle, like, because they're already going to have a preference. Then you got whichever way the wind's going that day, and whichever way they're just feeling that day. So they're going to be like, in warm-ups, I was like pushing everything, or I was pulling everything, or something like that. So give it to me on the left side, or give it to me on the right side. So they didn't do that. They tried to throw a little out route for no reason that wouldn't have done anything, and then they missed that out route. So now he's got to line up from the middle of the field. He misses the kick. Yeah, it was tough. It's getting a little chilly out here. But yeah, it was tough. They ended up losing. That was a good game, though. Notre Dame ended up whooping USC's ass, dude. They made Caleb Williams look bad. Threw 3 picks in the first half. Hadn't even thrown 3 all year. It was crazy. And Michael Penix is looking like the Heisman, dude. Definitely looking like the Heisman. But they both played well. Him and Bo Nix played really well in that game too. But Caleb Williams' stock definitely dropping. But yeah, a lot of good games yesterday and today lining up. So I'm excited to watch all those. Been a really good football season so far, honestly. Been really interesting. A lot of parity. Best season in recent years. Not a bunch of fucking politics involved in it too, which is nice. Just been really enjoyable to watch. So yeah, besides that, what else have I been doing? I've been watching some movies, like some classic movies. Like the other day I watched Dazed and Confused for the first time. Never seen that before. It was a good-ass movie, dude. And it was funny because I knew Matthew McConaughey was in it. That was like one of his first movies. And I kept wondering, I'm like, am I going to recognize McConaughey when he appears? And then his very first line was, all right, all right, all right. I'm like, oh, there he is. And he looks just like, I was like, oh yeah, it's McConaughey. He's just acting like McConaughey. And that's the classic movie, you know, everybody's heard the line where he gets in the car with the dude, and he's like, you got a joint? He's like, oh no. He's like, it'd be a lot cooler if you did. Shit was dope as fuck. And he has the line about the high school girls. He's like, you know what I love about these high school girls? I keep getting older. They stay the same age. Like, it was just fucking hilarious, bro. But it was a great movie. And then watched some more movies my manager recommended to me. And they were really good. One was The Dangerous Lives of Altar Boys, which somehow is not about rape at all. You'd think it would be, right? What do you think when you think The Dangerous Life of an Altar Boy? That's what you think of. But no, it was just about these kids who went to a Catholic school. And it was really cool because almost half it was like animated because they would draw comic books and shit, and it would coincide with their life. And you know, they were all against the teachers and everything, and just your normal kids just hanging out, smoking, drinking, you know, doing adventures and shit back in the day like people used to do before fucking video games overtook everything. But it was a good movie. It was just wild. A lot of plot twists and turns. That's really all I'll say about it. Y'all gotta watch it. A lot of dark shit, a lot of fucking hilarious shit. Just a really, really good movie in general. It had Emil Hirsch in it. It had fucking the Home Alone guy's brother. What's his fucking name? Macaulay Culkin. It had his brother Kieran in it, and he was pretty good in it. Oh, going back to Dazed and Confused also. So the main bully in the movie is Ben Affleck, dude. And I didn't realize it the entire time through. And then at the end, the credits are going and it just says Ben Affleck. And I was like, I literally had to fucking stop the movie for a second, bro. I was just like, what? That's Ben Affleck? No way that was Ben Affleck. Like, it was crazy. But yeah, a couple of great movies. And then what else did my manager recommend? Oh, Idiocracy, really good movie too. It's got Luke Wilson and Maya Rudolph in it, and basically they're of each gender, each of the two genders at the time. There were they chose the most average man and the most average woman. And that's the reason they got picked, because they were average, and then they got sent into the future, basically they were supposed to be for a year to test this government thing, because the thing gets shut down for funding or something, and they forget about them, and basically they wake up like 500 years in the future or something like that, and everybody's just fucking retarded, basically, like everybody's just so fucking stupid, and it's also just like, it was really good, because it's like a satire of how the world is. Like, everything was just super fucking corporatized. It was crazy, because this movie was like 06, right? So they had everything super corporatized. Everybody had a social credit score. They had a little tattoo they'd scan to pay for shit. If you couldn't pay for shit, they'd throw you in jail. Nobody understood basic sentences or anything. It was crazy. It was crazy how yeah, it was a funny movie, but it was scary, like realistic too. Like the whole time I'm like, this is funny, but it's also happening. Like it was wild. But yeah, that movie was good. And then what was the other one? Oh, Van Wilder, National Lampoon's Van Wilder, which was actually based on an article that Rolling Stone wrote about Bert Kreischer back in the day. So I had never seen Van Wilder before. It was really good. It had Ryan Reynolds in it, a lot of other people too. It was a really good movie, just a fun college movie. But yeah, it was wild, because like I went back and read that article, bro, and just seeing where Bert Kreischer came from, and like kind of where he was at when he was my age, 24. He was like a 6 years at Florida State, just a partier. Because that apparently at the time they were the #1 party school in the nation, and he was known as like the top partier there. And so that's kind of how it all started. Then Van Wilder made the movie based on that article, and then Bert ended up doing that thing for TV. But even back then, he was like, I'd love to be a stand-up comedian. And now, like, to see that's what he's doing, man, that's awesome to see. And it kind of give me faith, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, oh, he felt the same way that I'm feeling right now. And it ended up working out. You just got to have faith and trust it and not get too, like, worried about the bullshit, which is very common in people. Like, maybe it's just around here, man, but let me know if y'all feel the same. Y'all notice how hard it is to find somebody who doesn't get angry about a bunch of crazy bullshit all the time? It's crazy. Now, I'll sit here and, like, I'll make a comment or give my opinion, but it'll be like, oh, man, that commercial's stupid, like, and then just laugh it off. I don't care. Like, I just think it's stupid. I'm not mad about it. I'm not going to sit here and, like, oh, that commercial's dumb. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but you have some people that are just, like, if you say one thing they don't agree with, a word they don't agree with, they just have their own minds made up, and they don't want to hear it. They want to get angry at you for having a thought or a belief, and it's just crazy. And that's so common in people nowadays, man. It's a lot more common than uncommon. It's tough to find a person who's not like that, who's not just mad about some petty bullshit all the time. You know what I mean? It's hard to find people who aren't like that nowadays. But just gotta keep on keeping on and do your thing, man. And then they're gonna see one day. And keep focusing on what you need to focus on. And just don't get caught up in the bullshit. Don't get distracted by it. Do your thing, and then one day they'll see why you didn't feed into the bullshit, why you believed what you believed, was the right thing and why it was the best thing and how it's helping people and helping everybody now. So they're going to see that one day, and it's going to be amazing and beautiful, man. So just keep doing you. That's always, the main thing. That's the main goal. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to spark up this Blizzy. Another sip of my Baja Blast. Fucking, I know it's terrible for you, man, but Mountain Dew Baja Blast is so damn good. It's so damn good, man. It's so good. It's funny because I don't drink pop that often, but when I do, it's Mountain Dew. When I do, it's Dew. But I feel like that's the same thing as saying I don't do drugs, but when I do, it's heroin. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's the same thing. Like, I don't skydive, but when I do it without a parachute. Like, something like that. But, hey, Mountain Dew's, I expect the Baja Blast is fucking good, man. It's fucking good. So what else been going on? I didn't watch the whole thing yet, but I watched a clip from the newest Kill Tony. And it's dope now, because so I don't know if I've been mentioning this or not, but they're having a big show on New Year's Eve. It's going to be a live show in a different arena. It's going to be dope. Can't wait to see it. But they just set up, so they got this new European dude who's got a golden ticket. He was supposed to go back this week, and I think he is, but he's coming back for the New Year's show. I can't remember his name, man. It's driving me crazy. I need to go get his name. But he's going to challenge Hans Kim. And if he wins, then he gets Hans Kim's regular spot. And if he loses, then Hans Kim gets his golden ticket. So he can never come on like whenever he wants. So it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting. It was dope, though, how they set it up and everything. And I don't know how genuine it was. Like, I don't know if they legitimately don't like each other, or if they're just that competitive, or if it was all just, hyped up just for entertainment value and comedy. But either way, it was just dope. And the WWE fan in Tony loved it, too, because it was super WWE how it was set up. Like, the dude, called him out, and then Hans Kim, came out. You know what I mean? He was mad, and they were doing, a little promo type thing against each other. It was awesome, man. But he was like, it's just like in the WWE, because Hans Kim's a regular, and the other dude's got the golden ticket, the European dude. He's like, it's basically like if Hans Kim had the heavyweight championship and this guy had the intercontinental championship. Like, it wouldn't mean anything to Hans except for you don't have it anymore, and now he does, and that makes him happy. But yeah, it's gonna be dope, man. It was dope how they set it up. A really cool moment, man. It's a great show. They do great things down there. It would be really cool to be on it one day. You never know. You never know what can happen, man. Never know. It would be lit. But yeah, that was dope. Speaking of wrestling too, so I'm gonna have to get a little bit more back into it, man, because I know Randy Orton's coming back soon, but he's a fucking legend. And then Adam Copeland, better known as Edge, but he can't use Edge anymore because that's owned by WWE. But he is now on AEW under Adam Copeland, and he's wrestling with Christian again, man. And I watched Adam's first match back, dude, and it was fucking he looked like he hadn't missed a beat. He was doing a bunch of crazy shit, like superplexes off the top rope, spears off the side of shit. It was crazy. It was awesome. It was a really awesome match, honestly, for he's in his 40s or something, he's retired twice, and for him to look as good as he does in there is awesome, man. So I can't wait to see whatever storyline happens with him and Christian. That's going to be cool. Randy Orton coming back is lit. But I feel like AEW is where it's at, man. I think Chris Jericho's still on there, although I don't know if he's doing anything anymore. I haven't seen him lately. But I think the Hardy Boys are still on there. I like that What's his name? The something Saurus, dude. The something Saurus. The Luchasaurus, dude. That dude's weird, but it is interesting. I'm just like in. Like, it's just such a wild gimmick that I'm in. It's dope. It reminds me of like the Boogeyman for some reason, but I don't know anything about the gimmick. It just looks funny, but it also looks kind of scary. Like, you wouldn't want to fight it. So it's cool. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get back more into that, bro, because yeah, looks like it's been really entertaining lately. So yeah, what else? I love the trend lately of like old musicians or old bands releasing new stuff and having it being super good. Like the specific example I'm thinking of is Angry by Rolling Stones. Like, I guess they released it like a month ago, dude. And it's good as fuck. It might be my favorite Rolling Stones song. It's crazy. And it's not all like auto-tune or anything. Like, you can tell it's just Mick singing, dude. He just can still sing like that, which is insane at age 70 something. And I've seen videos where they're still putting on a really good show too, which is insane. Like, he's still jumping all the fuck around the stage and doing all that shit and fucking dancing. Still ripped apparently. Like, crazy. He's 73 or something. Like, that's awesome to see, man. I'd love to see them live, but yeah, that song's incredible. It's like, don't get angry with me. It's dope. And I heard him use it this morning in the NFL game too, which it was lit. Made me think about it, but yeah, that's a good song. But there's a lot of other bands who've been doing that, man. Blink-182 keeps releasing good stuff. I think Sum 41 released something new. I'll have to listen to that. Stain's new album is fucking incredible, and it's been like near the top, I think. I saw where Creed just reunited, and they're headlining some cruise or something this year, which would be lit. Who else? I feel like there's been multiple bands doing it. I mean, even Kiss, bro. I saw Kiss do like Howard Stern or something recently in the last year or so. Still sound fucking amazing. They gotta be in their 60s or 70s at least. They still sound amazing, dude. Just like they haven't missed a beat, and it's awesome. It's fucking awesome. It's really dope. I feel like there's been hella other bands that I can't even think about because there's been really so many bands who are just still at it. And then you got rap versions still too, like Snoop still making great music, Nas still making great music, and like honestly, they're making music better than most young rappers are. Although I heard Drake's new album was really good. I've heard some songs from it; they've been pretty fire. So I gotta listen to the rest of it. But yeah, dude, I've been just kind of like I've been listening to some older music lately too. Honestly, like shit I never listened to enough. You know what I mean? Like old NWA a little bit. And really, I don't know, just whatever my shuffle brings up has been a nice mix of shit. It's been a lot of still like new country, I guess. It's been a lot of rock, a lot of rock bringing me back to my childhood, like Alter Bridge, Creed, Stain, Shinedown, a lot of bands like that. Some old Linkin Park stuff coming up. Mike Shinoda's new song is really good. It's more of a rock vibe. He was the rapper from Linkin Park. And a lot of y'all probably don't even know he's also Fort Minor. That's his rap alter ego. He ended up releasing some shit under Mike Shinoda after Chester died. It was like some rap shit. It was really good. It was really dark and really raw, but it was really good stuff. And he released that under the name Mike Shinoda. But before that, he released one album and another song back in like 2010 that was really good called Welcome. Under the name Fort Minor, and the Fort Minor album was in like 06, or I think that's what year it was. But dude, that album was hugely successful, and a lot of people don't even realize that's him. It's crazy. Everybody knows Remember the Name. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. That's Fort Minor. That's Mike Shinoda. Like, that's crazy. Also, Where'd You Go with Skylar Grey, although back then she was going by the name Harley Brooke. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that. So that song that everybody's probably like, remember that one hit wonder? Where did those two people go? It's Mike Shinoda and Skylar Grey. Yeah, it's dope as hell. Where'd you go? I miss you so. Seems like it's been forever that you've been gone. Please come back home. I want you to know it's a little fucked up that I'm stuck here waiting, at times debating, telling you that I've had it with you and your career and the rest of the family here singing like, where'd you go? Yeah, it's a good song, man. It's a good song. That whole album's fucking incredible. There's a song with John Legend that's really good. There's honestly every song on the album's incredible. There's a few with Joe Hahn, who is the turntablist, the DJ for Linkin Park. Yeah, really good album, man. Yeah, there's been a lot of good music recently. Rock's been really good recently. Avenged Sevenfold is releasing a new album that's pretty interesting. I think it's like based on like us being like Barbies or something. Like basically it's trapped in like a simulation. Like we're all action figures basically type shit, and we want this perfect life type shit. Like it's supposed to be super deep, so I'll have to watch that or listen to that. I mean, it's blunt hit. She got me feeling good. And honestly, I'm super excited to watch the rest of these Bengals, the rest of this Bengals game and this Browns game. So actually, I'll tell you what, we're gonna do something a bit unique on the CaptchaCast. We're gonna do two short ones. I'm gonna end it here, and then I'm gonna watch the Bengals and the Browns game, and then I will update you after those games and let y'all know if I won any money. And maybe, who knows, we might have another capture cut of the week too. So I'll see y'all after there. Peace.